Boots in Baltimore. I'm LeeAnn Blanchard. I'm here with Darin Crew, Director of Restoration at Blue Water Baltimore. So what is Blue Water Baltimore?
Hi, LeeAnn. It's great to meet with you. Thank you for doing this podcast.
Thank you for joining me.
Yep. Blue Water Baltimore is a group all about clean water. Okay. So we're trying to improve the water quality in the harbor and its rivers, Jones Falls, Winds Falls, Farragut, and Pasco. And we work with communities to do that.
Okay. So I know this much about water. What is a watershed?
So if you've ever looked at a lake, a river, a pond, and wondered how it got its water, watershed is the land area that when it rains, drains either over top, like during a rainstorm, or the streams, or goes into the ground and then feeds into the stream.
So it's the network of tributaries, but also the groundwater.
Yeah, it's both. So if you look at like a hillside, you would see like the pitch of a roof. One side is one watershed at the peak, and the other side is where the water's going to another watershed. So we all live in a watershed, and they just vary in size.
Got it.
So right now we're standing, I think, in the Harris Creek watershed that drains into the Baltimore Harbor,
Okay.
which then drains into the Tapsco estuary, and then to the Chesapeake Bay, and then out to the Atlantic Ocean.
Out to the ocean.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So this endeavor is way bigger than just the municipal water supply, like the drinking water and washing water.
Yeah.
So how far out do these watersheds extend?
Yeah, so our drinking waters come from the beautiful reservoirs, the Loch Raven watershed and the Pretty Boy watershed. That's the gunpowder drinking water. And then the Tapsco is in, what's the name? Liberty Reservoir. So the whole Tapsco watershed drains into the middle branch, which then goes up to the harbor. So our watershed, the Tapsco is huge. It covers Baltimore County, Anne Arundel County, Montgomery County, and Carroll County, as well as part of Baltimore City. The Gwynns Falls watershed and the Jones Falls and the Back River is just to Baltimore City, Baltimore County. So they're like around 50 to 70-ish square miles, and the Tapsco don't go around as I think it's more like 150 square miles. So more like triple in size.
Okay. And so we're trying to improve the quality for everything, all the ecosystems, not just our own drinking water, right?
Yeah, so we're concerned with trying to make the water clean for fish and bugs, and then also as well for us to go swimming recreating, go fishing, go canoeing, go swimming some days.
Yes, we were talking just earlier about fishing and how some places maybe you don't want to eat the fish.
Yes, and the good news is if you ever want to look, Maryland Department of the Environment puts out a fish consumption advisory, so you can know which fish are safe to eat.
Okay.
Due to chemical contaminants. Yeah.
So you publish a report card to show us how we're doing. I took a look at it.
Yeah.
Tell us briefly, like, are we good? Are we bad? What's the trends?
Yeah. Yeah, so we live in watersheds with lots of people.
Yes.
And we have lots of pavement.
Yes.
And we have lots of old infrastructure. So we have old sewer pipes that are leaking. The city and counties are working to improve that, and they've done a lot of good work. But we still have impacts from sewer systems. And then every time it rains, all these beautiful parking lots, roofs, buildings that we've made, the pollution that crews on washes into the stream. So right now, we are at D's and F's for the harbor, Gwynns Falls and Jones Falls. But we have some slight positive trends.
Incremental.
Very tiny in the Jones Falls has improved over the last 11 years. And the Gwynns Falls Gwynns Falls and the harbor has gone down slightly over the past 11 years.
So what's the goal? A?
So that's the thing. I think we have to temper our expectations. So we live in an urban watershed with a lot of people. And so this is an ecological grade. So you would think of a pristine watershed would probably have like 10% pavement across this watershed, and it has a lot less people. So I think if we could get our streams to a C, that would be amazing. Middle C, like passing. And that would probably mean like a lot more times when it'd be safe to swim.
Yeah.
A lot more times when it'd be safe to fish. You'd have more fish in the waterways. You'd have more resiliency in the watersheds. You'd have more shade, more trees.
Yeah.
You'd have more gardens absorbing runoff. And it'd be slightly cooler. So by fixing watersheds, you can help improve our resiliency to climate change at times.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great goal.
So we had a lot of more work to do. We made a little bit of progress.
So what could the average citizen do to help?
So Blue Water Baltimore does protection and restoration efforts. And we've been able to sue the city because their wastewater treatment plants were releasing a lot of pollution. And so the main way that we can help in our watersheds is taking action. So you can plant a tree in your yard, some of the simpler stuff, you clean up trash in your block, and then at a larger scale in your neighborhood, you could advocate for stormwater projects to be installed in your neighborhood. But the big thing we can do that reduces the amount of restoration we have to do after the fact, which costs a lot of money, is to advocate for policies to change how we do what we do, make it more environmentally friendly.
Got it.
Yes. And then the other way would be to advocate for when somebody's polluting, reporting.
Right, reporting it, making sure
Yeah.
that the impact is minimized as much as possible.
Yeah, so the only thing that's holding polluters accountable, we're eliminating pollution that should never be there.
Right.
Because the laws are meant to stop that initially doing it and hold them accountable. Yeah, so just to give you an example, the wastewater treatment plants were releasing the same amount of pollution as all the agricultural best management practices, or like filters and buffers, and they basically offset all the good work that was happening by our Eastern Shore farmers. So that can show you how like stopping a polluter has a huge impact for our streams and our water. Yeah.
So, how could people volunteer? Or you said that on the website it says that you have volunteers, but what do the volunteers actually do?
Yeah, so we have events where you could volunteer in a nursery, so you could help plant plants. You could come out and plant trees with us. You could also sign up for action alerts, and you could write to your council person, advocate for a great policy. We helped pass the plastic bag ban with the coalition of partners, so there's less plastic bag trash in our streams. You can come to our website and find all that information. Yeah.
Well, they say that Baltimore is a city of neighborhoods, and one of the things that I love about Baltimore is it's a big city, but it's not that big, right? It's not that big. We can actually make a difference within the neighborhoods. Like the council people are not over millions and millions of people. Like you can get in front of policymakers. You can actually make change.
Yeah,
like regular people can do stuff.
Yeah, if you align with your neighbors and even if your community association is with you or not with you, if you align with a bunch of neighbors, friends,
concerned citizens,
your business friends,
yes,
and you partner with groups like Blue Water Baltimore, we can make an environmental change. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
And there's definitely ways to have win-wins. It's a win for the environment and wins for the economy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what are these bug hunts that I saw on the calendar?
It's kind of like a horror movie, but in a good way.
I have no interest whatsoever, but I feel compelled. For those of you entomologically inclined, by all means, come out to bug hunts. Why? Why would you do that?
So, like, you guys know, like mosquitoes, dragonflies, damselflies, caddisflies, some insects require and use water as part of their life cycle. So they lay eggs in the water, and then the pupa grow in there. And then there's some organisms that always live in the water, but dragonflies, damselflies, caddisflies, and mayflies, they'll hatch to adults. And they do their beautiful mating, courtships and dances, and then they mate with their partner, and then they relay eggs. So we're looking at the larvae and pupa of damselflies, dragonflies. And those indicate how healthier the water is.
Is it like the volume of them, or the state of them, the development of them? What are you counting them? Like, how does?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
It's both. So, like in a healthy neighborhood, you have a diversity of people, right? Young, old, rich. Some people work with their hands. Some people work with their minds. In the stream, you want a diversity of bugs doing lots of different things. And some bugs are better suited for water with more oxygen, and that's indicative of higher water quality. And then if you have a lot of people as well, or a lot of bugs in the water, that also normally indicates that you have good water quality.
Okay.
Because you have a lot of different jobs that the bugs can do.
Right.
Just like in a good neighborhood, you have a lot of different jobs that people do. So it's kind of neat. You can flip a rock and look at it, and like you might see a black fly larvae, which is really pollution tolerant, or you might see a midge, which is the same, but then you might see a mayfly, and that's indicated and shows you it's good water quality. And so they're kind of neat to look at. They're insects that normally are in the water that you can see.
Sure.
And kids enjoy it. Kids really
Kids,
like it.
yes. Let us send the children out to do that. I will sit back here with my citronella candle and not interested.
Yes. Well, the good news is mosquitoes breed only in standing water.
Okay.
So we're looking at the streams where the water's good.
You still haven't sold me on it. It's okay.
All right, it's okay.
So, what is this about the nursery?
So we have a native plant nursery. These are the plants that grew around here. And we sell plants to the public. and we have great customer service. So if you're a gardener looking for help, they'll help you pick out the right plants at the right spot. And the nice thing about native plants is they're providing habitat and foods for our pollinators. So if you like bees, butterflies, birds, humans, we're all native, so they're in the right place. And if you plant them in your landscape, they're going to do much better.
Yeah.
Right plant, right place. Whether wet spot, there's great native plants for wet spots, and they help reinforce the less care. And then the proceeds from Herring our Nursery help fund our programs for clean water.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been involved with Blue Water Baltimore, and what got you started?
Yeah, so I've been involved in Blue Water Baltimore for 20 years. I was involved in organizations before we merged. So in 2011, 5 watershed groups merged to form one. Our water keeper as well merged with us. And I've been doing this since 2003, 21 years.
All right.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of change. A lot of good stuff has happened in Baltimore.
All that incremental progress does add up over time.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're making change. I think in the next 10 years, we're going to see a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. So,
So
how,
one good story is the tree canopy in Baltimore grew by 1%, which doesn't sound like much. but
that's a
Baltimore's-
lot of trees.
Yeah, it's a lot of trees. It's about 200 acres of trees. And part of it is we don't have a lot of land that you can redevelop, and part of it is our forests actually grew.
Oh, wow.
And we've been planting lots of trees too that are slowly starting to show up in the analysis.
Yeah, so I'm a member of the Hampton Merchants Association, and we just had some tree people a month or two ago talking about replanting in the wells along the avenue and other
great.
places. And so there are places to plant trees, even if your yard or you don't have much of a yard, you can still come and plant trees and make a difference.
Yeah, you can volunteer in your neighborhood, and we do. There's a lot of groups like Blue Water Baltimore, Baltimore Tree Trust, and the city's program, Tree Baltimore, where you can get a free tree to give away or sign up for, as she said, a
We
community.
like
neighborhood.
free.
Yeah, we call them tree adoption events. You can come and adopt the tree. You can go and get a pet. They want loving homes. They provide you nice benefits. They're easier to care for than a pet.
Yes. Yes.
Demanding. Same benefits. Mental, physical, shade. They do. You can go outside and play under the shade a lot more.
Okay. Okay. Trust you. So how can people find out more about volunteering or what they can do?
Yeah, like us on Facebook or Instagram. We post a lot of good links. You can sign up for our e-newsletter and check our website for calendar events. We'd love to see you.
Yes, get involved.
Get involved.
It's important. It affects everybody. It affects everything.
Yeah.
Right? We're 70% water?
Yeah, water connects us all well in a watershed. You walk outside, anything you do on your property, every time it rains, it's coming into the storm drain, into the stream, to the bay.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
This is great.
This has been wonderful. This is another episode of Boots in Baltimore. Stay tuned for more. Thank you.